Here's your wrestling news for March 23rd, 2022. And your headlines for today include WWE drops its plans for Universal title feud, a new challenger has emerged. Rousey-Flair segment highlights Ronda's shortcomings on the microphone. WWE edits championship title win off WWE Network in Peacock. I don't want to be like that. Raw superstar says he doesn't want to be frustrated like Dolph Ziggler. Details revealed about secret talent meeting before WrestleMania 38. AEW star is out with another injury after spending over a year on the shelf. Raquel Rodriguez shares honest views over her WWE main roster name change. Why has Bret Hart not joined AEW despite months of teases? LA Knight introduces new member to the Knight Model Management. WWE Hall of Famer says the company ditching their policy against marijuana is long overdue, and more. We're kicking off today with SmackDown as Roman Reigns returned to WWE TV after a brief hiatus from either the Blue brand or Raw. The last time we saw Reigns, it appeared that a story had been started with Shinsuke Nakamura, with many expecting a match between the two to be confirmed for WrestleMania Backlash. On this week's episode, however, it appeared that WWE had completely dropped the building Reigns-Nakamura feud and have already found a replacement for the reigning undisputed WWE Universal Champion. During a segment with Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro, Drew McIntyre took a dig at the Bloodline, and later in the show, McIntyre's current nemesis Sami Zayn was seen trying to get help from Roman Reigns. All of this is pointing to a feud between Reigns and McIntyre, which is what fans have been expecting ever since the Scottish Warrior was moved to SmackDown. McIntyre is also one of the very few people who is seen as a credible threat to the head of the table, and the pair will also be facing off in the upcoming WWE European tour that starts later this month. After fans began to turn on McIntyre in 2021, WWE wisely took him out of the world title picture, but now, over a year since his most recent WWE Championship reign ended, it appears to be time for Drew to return to the top of the card. SmackDown also saw the continuation of the Ronda Rousey-Charlotte Flair feud ahead of their I Quit match at WrestleMania Backlash. Kicking off SmackDown can often be a daunting task, and Rousey's lack of confidence on the mic is still evident, as she tends to drop one-liners while being virtually inaudible to everyone. Flair kept emphasizing her victory at WrestleMania 38, which the crowd were happy to remind her that she tapped out during that match. The segment also saw poor Drew Gulak get the short straw, as he was on the receiving end of another attack, this time by Ronda Rousey, who locked him in an armbar while signing her contract. It was revealed that Gulak is working his way up to be Adam Pearce's assistant, but he may not want that job if attacks like these are repeated in what's evidently a hostile work environment. As for Rousey and Flair, the segment was an improvement on previous segments, but Rousey's shortcomings on the mic can't be overlooked, and it may be a very long time, if ever, that she improves on the stick. Ring of Honor news now, as the company's world champion Jonathan Gresham is a busy man, and when not appearing for ROH or AEW, he can be found in Progress Wrestling. Last month, Gresham captured the Progress World Championship in London, England, defeating Cara Noir to win the gold, but this match will be hard for fans to track down. When the Progress show was aired on the WWE Network as part of a deal between the two companies, the Gresham title win was edited off the broadcast, while Noir's first title defense against Warren Banks was not replaced. No explanation has been given by WWE, though it's likely that the company doesn't want someone associated with Tony Khan's Ring of Honor to be on their network or on Peacock. Gresham last competed at AEW's Battle of the Belts event and suffered a concussion during his ROH World title defense against Dalton Castle, but whenever he next wrestles, don't expect to see any matches of him on the WWE Network. Since coming to WWE in 2014, Kevin Owens has made an impact, holding the NXT, Universal, Intercontinental, and United States titles. One name who knows a thing or two about title wins is Dolph Ziggler, who's done plenty of that during his 14 years on WWE's main roster. While Ziggler has been consistent, there's been plenty of stories over the years of Dolph being frustrated with the company, but never enough to try his hand in another company. Speaking on After the Bell this week, Owens discussed the show-off and said that while he respects Dolph, he doesn't want to be like him. He's definitely one of the people that I would look at and think, man, I don't want to be like Dolph. This was 2015, 2016, I was like, I don't want to be like that. I want to come to work and I don't want to be frustrated all the time. Ziggler hasn't competed in WWE since the Raw after WrestleMania 38, where he lost the NXT Championship to Braun Breaker, and while there are still some who say Ziggler should leave WWE, it appears that the show-off is here to stay. At WrestleMania Sunday, Triple H kicked off the event with a huge entrance and introduction, marking his first time in a WWE ring since announcing his retirement. Understandably, this was an emotional time for the Game, who headlined 8 WrestleManias throughout his Hall of Fame career, but we now know more about what happened before his appearance. On After the Bell, Kevin Owens spoke about WrestleMania and said that Triple H conducted a meeting of the main roster before the two-night event. Owens said how Triple H told everyone to enjoy moments like appearing at WrestleMania, and said that after how the Game's career ended, that this message is especially poignant. WrestleMania 38 was big for both men as it saw Triple H officially retire and Kevin Owens headline the showcase of the Immortals for the first time, but it may not be the last time for the prizefighter. Over to AEW, and it was in February 2021 that Darius Martin suffered a torn ACL, which would keep him out of action for over a year. The Top Flight star would eventually return for the Casino Tag Team Royale on the March 2, 2022 Dynamite, reuniting with his brother Dante Martin, but this return has been short-lived. According to Fightful Select, Darius has now suffered another injury, this time in his leg, and is back on the shelf with no time window as to when he'll return. Top Flight was scheduled to face Brian Cage and KC Navarro at Saturday's Warrior Wrestling 21 event, but Darius is being replaced due to the injury. In AEW, Darius and Dante have worked just 7 matches together, thanks in part to Darius's torn ACL injury, but with another injury to his name, who knows when Top Flight will take flight in any wrestling ring, AEW or not, again. Back to WWE, as earlier this month, Raquel Rodriguez was called up to the main roster after establishing herself in NXT as Raquel Gonzalez. This is all part of WWE's new strategy when it comes to naming talent, as they don't want any part of a person's real name to be used on screen in case that person later leaves the promotion. Rodriguez is just the latest superstar to have their name changed, and in an interview with Cage Side Seats, detailed how she learned of her new name. They just basically said, "Hey, you're getting a name change and this is it." I was like, cool, that's fine. I really had no big arguments with it at all. It was just a simple little switch. I was just joking with Rhea Ripley last Friday because she was actually at SmackDown and her initials are RR, Rhea Ripley, and we've always joked about being a tag team, and we had our feud in NXT. Well, now my initials are RR, Raquel Rodriguez, so it just kind of feels like it was meant to be. A former NXT Women's Champion and 2-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, Raquel Gonzalez certainly dominated the NXT roster, but now it's time to see what Raquel Rodriguez can accomplish as a member of the SmackDown locker room. Ever since FTR fired Tully Blanchard as their manager, the duo have teased bringing Bret Hart to AEW, but that hasn't happened yet. While the Hitman is set to manage FTR at a big-time wrestling event, he hasn't appeared on Dynamite or Rampage, and we may now know why. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the belief within AEW is that Bret has been signed to a new, lucrative contract with WWE, one that is keeping him away from the All Elite promotion. It's reported that any contract Bret has signed with WWE will likely keep him from being involved with the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, which will culminate at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view at the end of May. Bret was part of the first Double or Nothing, as he presented the AEW World Championship on that night, but he's kept his distance from the company ever since then. As a legend of the industry and considered one of the greatest ever, it's no wonder why AEW would want to bring Bret in to manage FTR, but that just doesn't seem to be happening right now. Back to WWE, as last week in a dark segment ahead of SmackDown, LA Knight debuted the Knight Model Management stable and introduced Mace as the first member. Now Knight has a second client, as ahead of last night's SmackDown in Albany, the former Impact World Champion introduced Mansoor as the next member of his team. Saying that the Knight Model Management Group is a stable he started after wisely saving his money in the wrestling industry, it remains to be seen where Knight and his group go from here, and who else will be the next to align with him. And we're ending today with WWE, who this week it was reported has ditched its policy against marijuana, and that superstars are no longer fined for being caught with weed. While WWE's policy is for talent to receive a $2,500 fine, Randy Orton was an instrumental part of this rule being dropped, and one legend of the ring is pleased to see it happen. Speaking on his Hall of Fame podcast, 2-time inductee Booker T said that the policy being lifted is long overdue, and said how science has proven the many benefits that marijuana can have, especially when it comes to pain management. Booker compared marijuana to the opioid epidemic and said that due to a stigma against weed, many wrestlers have tried to deal with pain by self-medicating, adding that a lot of good wrestlers have died this way. The five-time WCW champion did say he imagines his ex-tag team partner Rob Van Dam is jumping for joy at the news, as he's a longtime advocate for marijuana use, and now he and anyone at WWE won't be fined for lighting it up. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.